Good morning, kids. In the lesson 83, we'll talk about strategy. Again, we'll study the Capablanca's game because his games are very simple and very useful for your level to learn. So what happened here is e4, e6, so we have a French defense. And we have capturing on e4, right? Knight takes, knight f3, knight f6. Okay, this is okay. You can play this way with the black side. Maybe white is always a little bit better because white has a powerful, strong center. Knight takes on f6. And now Capablanca plays a very cool move, knight e5. This is something you can learn if you're playing this position with the white side, and look at the strategy that he does here, the queen f3. Right, I actually like this way because yeah, queen is quite unpleasant on f3, and you will see later on it move to h3. So c6, c3, castling, and bishop to g5. Bishop to e7, bishop to d3, and now black plays knight to e8. And from this moment, the strategical game starts. Well, black played knight e8. Of course, moving the knight to the back rank is not fun. Black also has a problem with the bishop on c8. That's completely blocked. Now, Capablanca plays excellent move, queen h3, targeting the pawn on h7, checkmate, and after the move f5, the trade happened right here. But you can see right now that knight on e5 is dominating the game. Knight is in the center of the board. This pawn structure is not very good for black. The black bishop is completely blocked, cannot get into the game. There is a backward pawn on e6. And let's see how Capablanca uses this. He plays castling, rook f6, rook e1. Okay, that's a normal move, right? Because you are targeting the pawn on e6 and you are targeting the e5. Knight e6, rook e2. White wants to double up, and black is defending. Look, black set up this defense, right? So now the question is, how do you break through? Well, first of all, when you play games like this, do not force the game, right? Give a chance to your opponent to make a mistake, because it's very easy to make a mistake in those kind of positions when you are black. Right, because it's hard to defend. Now, c4 is played, knight 7, and this is a very important moment of this game where Capablanca plays a move d5. Well, now we can see the power of those rooks on e5, and black is in a big trouble here. Knight takes, rook takes. Pawn to g6. Queen h4. Look at this move. Queen h4. And after king g7, queen d4. So we actually have here a cross pin. Right? The pin on the diagonal is very unpleasant. The pin on the e file is very unpleasant. Black is in a defensive position, and you're just like waiting for white to strike. Now again, even when you play those kind of positions, it's not easy to win. Like I said before, you have to be very patient, right? You have to have a plan, right? Don't rush, don't force the game. Just give your opponent a chance to make a mistake. c5, and queen c3, and then b6 is played, and now pawn takes on e6. Because you cannot take. because if you take on e6, rook takes on e6, and this pin is working, right? So after that move, bishop c8, and the next move, bishop to e2, bishop e6, bishop f3. Look at this one. So after bishop d5, look at all those pins. The cross pin diagonally this way, right? But again, there is a fortress. I've seen many times where people would even lose a game like this with a white side. They have a tremendous domination. They're about to win the game, but then it slips away and they lose. So you have to, again, go slowly, right? You do have a pressure, but don't let it go, right? This advantage is big, and now let's see what are the choices here. Like, of course, this capturing on e6 is always an option, but look how Capablanca plays this. He plays a move queen to e3. He makes even more pressure here, but the queen is actually going to h6, right? So this is a very important strategical idea that Capablanca played. Queen goes to h6, and then the next move is h4. So now he's going to make a pawn on g6 weak. Look with this h5. He takes on g6, and then he sacrifices, because the pawn on g6 is weak, and here black resigned the game, but you probably can see that after a check, right, the pin in check, and then you take on e6, and white is winning the game. So it is a simple game, but we end up in those kind of positions very often, and it is important that we see the games like this so that we know how world champions in chess play when they have such a big advantage. We go back. I think very important move is d5. Very important is this idea of queen h4 and queen d4, centralizing the queen. This move, bishop e2, was very cool. Right? Bishop e2, transferring the bishop to d5. And then, of course, queen e3, queen h6, and this idea of h4 and pushing the pawn forward, making pawn on g6 weak, and then the sacrifice on e6 is finalizing and winning the game. I hope you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.